Happy Halloween, everybody, and welcome back to Dalt Oddity. I'm Dalton, and today we are making the Hand of Glory. I know it's nowhere near Halloween, but I'm already feeling in the Halloween mood, so you're just gonna celebrate with me. Okay? Halloween, Harry Potter, fun, let's do it. Yeah. So the Hand of Glory, if you're not familiar with it, in the Harry Potter series, is a relic that was sold in Borgin and Burke's. The Hand of Glory is essentially a mummified hand that gives light in darkness to the person holding it, but nobody else. I believe it is seen briefly in the movies in the Chamber of Secrets, and it like grabs Harry by the wrist. To start with, I needed a hand of sort. I planned on making like a wire armature and then sculpting with some Super Sculpey or something. A skeleton hand, a lot of work. So I went to Dollar Tree and I found this guy here. This is a glow-in-the-dark skeleton hand that is intended to be used as a yardstick. See, it has a hole here and you're supposed to like, jam that in there and then put it in the ground and have a hand sticking out of the ground. It's an idea for sure. However, I think this will work perfectly for our Hand of Glory. Now the fingers themselves are kind of weird, and they're also just all sort of going in the same direction. I want to make them bend a little bit, so let's whip out the heat gun. I don't know what kind of cheap plastic this is, so definitely want to be careful when heating it up. Don't want to overheat it or anything, as I don't know what its melting point or anything is. So I'm just going in on a nice medium heat, and I'm just going to try to slowly and evenly heat up each finger and bend it into a more desirable position. Alright, so now we've got a bit more of a curve and bend at the joints on the fingers, which I think helps this look significantly better. Now before we go into putting the like rotting flesh all over it, I want to paint this. It's glow in the dark, so it's got that kind of translucent green color to it. I'm not a fan. I'm just gonna punch this popsicle stick onto this foam. Boom, now we got a temporary stand so we can paint. To prime the surface of this so that the paint will actually stick to it, I'm actually gonna just do a light coat of some spray adhesive. Not the T! Close call, bro. To paint it, I'm just gonna take some white and then mix in just a drop or two of this sort of tannish brown color. Just so it's not stark white. Don't want that. You could also just spray paint this if you have some. Alright, now I'm gonna let this dry. Looks like it might need a second coat, and then we can move on with the fleshifying. Fun. So I put 2 coats on it, and then I forgot about it, and now it's a day later, but here we go. Looking good as a nice bony base. Now we need to put all the flesh onto that, and for that we are going to be using latex. Now the liquid latex I will be using is the brand Mold Builder. I get it at Hobby Lobby, and I really like to use it especially for applications like this because it comes so thick. You can see as I pour it in. Thick stuff. It's real good. So I'm just going to take it, and to color it, I'm just going to be using some acrylic latex paint and squirting it in. I'm just using this sort of grayish, tannish brown color. Awesome. And then the other thing we're going to need is some toilet paper. There's evil clowns in my house. You want to get the kind that doesn't really have a print or pattern on it. This one has a bunch of little dots in it, but since we're using it for skin, you want to get the cheap kind. This is from like the dollar store, like 1 ply, maybe it's 2 ply, whatever. Super thin, perfect. Still some from your school bathroom, that stuff, great. There are other things you could use. You could use cotton swabs, you could just use some tufts of cotton, some cotton pads, paper towels, anything you want. We're basically just going to be kind of paper macheing this, but with toilet paper and liquid latex. Very old technique, nothing I invented. I'm going to be applying it with a sponge brush, only because I know I'm probably going to forget about this and won't clean it. And first, I'm just going to completely cover the fingers with this. You don't have to go too thick with it. Alright, now is where we're just gonna take that paper, I'm just gonna take the paper towel, and this is already thin, so I'm not gonna pull the plies apart, but we're just gonna rip the edges because we don't want any super harsh. A straight line is a dead giveaway that you're using some paper. So we're just gonna start placing it on there. Alright, we got it nice and coated. It's already looking pretty gnarly. I'm just gonna let this dry and then come back, and it'll probably need another 1 or 2 coats. We'll see. Let's let this dry. Okay, outfit change. Just kidding. It's the next day again. So this is it dried. This is with 2 layers of liquid latex and the brown paint. As you can see here, there are some spots where the white bone is peeking out from underneath, which is why I wanted to paint it white to begin with. I will probably do a wash of some dark brown over it, but I'm going to save that for the end because I think I'm also going to do some fabric wrapping around it at the base to cover up this part. But first, we need a little base to put this on. I'm going to keep it fairly simple. Alright, I am going to start by cutting out a 6" by 6" square out of this 1" XPS foam. And I'm going to put this wooden dowel right in the middle of it. Just going to attach it using some hot glue. Like so. Cut out this right here, which is a 4" by 4" square out of 2" XPS foam. And I'm just going to attach these two together, again with some more hot glue, and just do my best to make sure that it is completely centered. Now we just need to paint this. I am literally just going to paint this thing brown. Great, now it has a little handle. Wow, it kind of looks like a Minecraft tree, doesn't it? Awesome, so we're just gonna let this dry. So like I said, we're going to wrap the base of this with a bit of fabric, just because I feel like if you were to make one of these, you wouldn't really want to just hold the rotting, nasty flesh, you know? And originally I was just going to use some white, but then I forgot I had this really cool material here. That was for the Poseidon's Trident video made a long time ago. That's where I got this here scar on my finger. With this same knife. Just went wonderful. I'm just gonna take it and cut a little strip going parallel to the stripes. And of course scissors work just fine too. Not too worried about it being straight. totally fine if it's not. Nothing wrong with a lack of straightness. Alright, to glue it on, I'm just going to be using some hot glue. Gluing it right here and then wrapping it around. I'm just going to wrap it around, letting the fabric fold over itself a bit in places, so it's not just perfectly wrapped. Then I'm just going to cut off all this excess with the world's worst pair of scissors, apparently. Awesome. And your leftover, you can use as a little head tie. Okay, now like I said, I want to do a bit of a brown wash on this. So, gonna bring this over here just to paint it on. For the brown wash, I'm just gonna take this brush here that still has that dark brown paint on it, and a little spray bottle of water. Pro tip, always have a little spray bottle of water around. These things are super cheap. This costs about $1 at the store, and I love it. I use it all the time. So often I just need a little of water, just like a little. You can use it as setting spray. You can, I mean, possibilities are endless. Definitely recommend keeping this around. And I'm just gonna spray a little bit of water into this tray here. And really just, oh wow, I'm gonna do a lot more than that. And then I'm also just gonna spray this a little bit to get it wet. And I'm just gonna paint this sort of everywhere and let it really get into all those nooks, all those crannies. Did anyone else ever think when they were young that it was nooks and grannies? I was like, why are they talking about grandmas like that? Ooh. And then I'm also just gonna take toilet paper because it's right here, and I'm gonna dab some of that extra water and paint off because we don't need a lot, just a little bit. Now, here, zoom in just a little bit. Come on, come a little closer. Look closer. Come here. So now, as you can see, it's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna sort of rub with my finger and peel back some of that latex in a few places. Not everywhere, just a few little spickety spots that I want it to show through a bit more. Letting a little bone through. Nothing at all wrong with a bit of bone peeking through. While waiting for everything to dry, I just went on the computer and typed this up, made it real quick and printed it out. And I'll cut it out just to put as a little nameplate on it. Okay, it's dry. And to attach it, all I'm really gonna do is add some hot glue here around the base. And that should be enough. Which side did I say I want the front? That side. Wait, why are you so... Okay, there we go. Awesome. Awesome. There we go. He's on there. He's on there. All the other parts of the window display are very aged up and have like some dry brushing on it, so I want him to match. Just a little bit though. Why is it always the most like simple, easy things that I'm the most impressed with? And I'm just gonna use the slightest amount of hot glue to just stick them on there. Okay, but guys, really, why is it the easiest, quickest, simplest projects that always impress me the most? Like, why do I love this? It's not that amazing. It's very simple, very cheap, very cool. You could use this for any sort of like Harry Potter party or a home haunt. This would be something really cool. You don't have to make it on a stand like this. This is a great way to just make cool like zombie parts. It doesn't have to just be a hand. You could do it to an entire skeleton. You could do it to a foot, a skull, whatever you want, honestly, and it would be perfect for any home haunt that you're working on, or just everyday decorations, Halloween decorations, whatever. And that's all I got for you today, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, thanks. Bye.
He is glorious. Glorious. This hand, he is glorious. The hand of glory is glorious. It is glorious. The hand of glory is glorious. I love my hand, he's glorious. Glorious. Glorious.